You have been healing like no other. You've been healing in a way that has been very, very not only resonating with you, but it's resonating with other people. And I feel like if people are looking at you like, oh, like you have reached this perfect stage of happiness and they just got there randomly, like if people were to ask you about it, they would know that the work that you've done isn't just all sunshine and rainbows. Like you actually put in some effort here to where if people asked you about the work that you did to heal yourself, they not only would not be able to handle it, but they also probably feel like, oh yeah, no, it's not just handed to you on a silver platter. It's not just something that is going to like be this, not necessarily like uh instant like gratification or instant manifestation. Like that's not how you did something. You did something purely on your own. And I'm hearing the fact that if you feel like your manifestations are falling on deaf ears, no, they're not. You have a strong, strong spirit team like aside you and next to you, and I feel like when I was channeling this energy, there was a lot of energy of like people holding you and hugging you and being so proud of where you're at right now. So we're gonna get into this reading. Welcome back, and I hope you all take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I absolutely love reading for the collective here. Also, another thing I was channeling was you understand the fool's journey in tarot like to the T. And I'm saying you understand it because you experienced it. And that is a whole new level of experience for you that I feel like you not only feel like you are being upgraded in a certain way, but it's like this healing for you has been upgraded in a certain way that has been so like extra clear in your mind. And I almost want to, we're going to start with this tarot deck actually. I want to even explain, like, I feel like you want to explain, like, how you got somewhere because you don't want people to see this perfect image of you, of, oh, I'm just happy now, and that's just how it is. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Um, you want them to see the work that you did because I feel like once they see the work that you've done, they will feel less alone in doing that work themselves. And I feel like this is a grand aspect of how you are viewing yourself in your own healing journey. Two of Pentacles. Challenge. That's what healing is. It's a challenge. You're fighting with yourself. You're fighting with another part of yourself, but it's not in order for any one side to win. It's this fight to maintain balance. How can we make the two sides of ourselves, our ego and our intuition, happy? How can we actually and actively pursue something that is hold on, I see the card already, that is actively accepting of ourselves, both sides of ourselves. You've been fucking working on this for sure. Eight of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. You've been working on feeling fulfilled in your life, and I feel like feeling fulfilled is just not just a, oh, I feel fulfilled right now. Like you're feeling fulfilled with the work that you're doing in order to create this balance. You understand how these things can seem almost a little uncertain at times, but the fact that you're continuing to do the work, continuing to do the things of like, um, oh, I praise my father a lot for a lot of the things that he has done because he did not have it easy, but he still created happiness in me and my older brother's lives and for his stepchildren as well. Because my dad went through a very, very like hectic divorce, and this person that he divorced is still kind of lying about the divorce to this day. And she's lied so much, my mother's lied so much that she believes her own lies, and that's That's a story for another day. But when I would ask him about certain things and I'd just say, hey, I'm really grateful that you did this for us, his words were, that's what you do as a parent. That's what you're saying about like your adult life, your sense of maturity about something. Like this isn't just happiness that's handed to you on a silver platter. This is work that you do constantly. And you're telling people that if they're asking about it. Because if people aren't asking about it, well, you can just let them assume. You're willing to help the people who are wanting to be helped. You're not going to help the people who are going to say, oh, I want to be helped, I want to be helped, and then they not accept the actual help, the offer of help, or accept what they really need to work on. Because through this level of maturity, you're understanding this is just what you do. This is just what you do. As an adult, as a mature spiritual being, this is just what you do. And a lot of it comes to choice. The Lover's card. The Lover's card, while it's also a lot about love, this is a lot about choice and how we choose to commit to things, choose to commit to the relationship and love, but choosing to commit to the work, choosing to commit to, we want to be fulfilled in such a brand new way that it's not going to, not necessarily like overflow our emotions, it's going to give this nice flow of acceptance, I want to say. Acceptance in the work that you're doing is actually working, like it's valid, it's not just wishy-washy, or um, it's not like you're saying you're gonna do something and then you never do it. Like you're actively like speaking your truth and saying, yes, this is what's gonna happen, this is what I know I need to do. Was this Seven of Wands and Six of Cups? Yeah, you made promises in the past and you said, yep, no, I'm doing it my way. This is the way I'm doing it. And I feel like this is where your healing is being upgraded. That Six of Cups is almost like you made a promise to yourself in the past of this healing, and when you worked on this healing back then, it healed parts of you to keep working on yourself, to keep finding this balance. And this is where this healing journey is almost being upgraded into a whole new way, but it's because you are enjoying the commitment to yourself. You're enjoying the fact that you are working to commit to yourself and commit to your happiness here, to your fulfillment. You're accepting every choice that needs to be made in order to commit to something, because it's not just you're committing to one thing here. Oh, excuse me. I see this like ribbon that's wrapped around this tree. I see this as like multiple things that come with the commitment, multiple responsibilities that you're saying, yes, I accept these responsibilities in order to commit to myself, to commit into really breaking through and breaking free from a lot of different, I want to say, like heartache and strife. We have Three of Pentacles, creativity. You are getting very creative with your spirit team, I feel. Some of you are very in tune with your spirit team. You know who they are and know who you're working with. If some of you aren't sure, or you just only know a couple, you are still feeling this energy of like you're working with your spirit team, and your spirit team I feel like is working with the universe in order to like really and truly bring these things to fruition. These Eight of Pentacles things that you are working on. And I feel like I keep looking at the word skill in this card because it says skill at the bottom. You truly have a skill for something, but it's not because you're just like born with a gift or a talent. You have a skill for something because you worked on something for so long. You worked on yourself for so long that now you know exactly how to accept all these parts of yourself, accept all the responsibilities that come with committing to loving yourself. And loving yourself doesn't just happen like plainly. It happens because we are moving beyond Six of Swords. We are moving beyond transitioning into something far, far grander than what we ever expected. But this transition stage is very, very difficult for some people. Some people can't just move forward in this way of thinking and this level of acceptance and hope that yes, there is like a greener pasture of an island on the other side of this water, but you're committed to sailing this whole entire ocean and finding all types of pastures, whether it be the greener pastures or the non-greener pastures. It's like you're willing to accept all these parts about yourself, and I feel like that is through the level of commitment we have here. I'm gonna leave that Six of Swords out. This level of commitment allows you to not only explore everything, but you're not afraid. You're not afraid to explore everything in your mind. And I feel like this is where your spirit team has really helped you ground yourself into your own personal being, your own personal belief. That, yes, I can do this because this is just what you do. This is what you do as an adult, is what I'm hearing. I feel like that's a lot of, like, energy you've been feeling lately, is like, this is just what you do. You don't know how to explain it other than, like, this is just what I've done, this is just what you do, and that's how you're explaining it to other people. And other people may be a little bit scared to move forward, but the fact that they know that someone else actually went through all this and came out the other side with such a level of committed acceptance and acceptance of responsibility, that it's almost like, hold on, I thought I had to sneeze. I'm still, like, coming off a cold, so, ooh. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna blow my nose because, oh, that sneeze did not come out. You're almost leveling up this level of acceptance. Like, this level of acceptance is beyond what you knew before. It's beyond what you have accepted before. It's beyond what you even know of, like, how much you could accept in your life, because it's almost like things are just like the things that you're accepting and the things that you have to let go in order to accept a lot of this grander level of acceptance. It's almost just like falling to the wayside. Like, these are just like fallen leaves that are just happening to fall because you're able to express to yourself how, like, happy you are to commit to yourself. You are insanely fully fulfilled and really getting up to this new level of fulfillment with yourself because you've done the fucking work. You've done the work to commit to yourself. You've really created this level of not only creativity, but acceptance in who you truly are. The Empress is such a card. This is also called the Green Woman, so a lot of Celtic themes here. You have such a level of acceptance of who you are that it's like, you know, the best soil and for the best seed to grow the best abundant plant ever. And even if you can't find the best soil, you know how to create good soil. And what's really interesting about gardening in itself is that you can plant a single plant, and then that can actually provide a lot of nutrients to the soil, to where you can plant other plants that provide extra nutrients for the soil. And then you have a soil that's so fruitful that you could just grow anything upon it. And I feel like that's the work that you've been doing. You've been churning up some soil that you've already grown things upon, this metaphorical soil. You have been churning up the soil because you know that you want to grow a new level of commitment, a new level of committed fulfillment here. And that takes a lot of work, and you're showing people that, yes, this took work. This isn't just something that I woke up one day and was happy. Like, you really were fully abundant in this. And I feel like, what else does the collective need to hear as well? The Magician, or the Shaman. The Magician is out here really just very much confirming how potent your creativity is when you are actually actively pursuing things. You pursue them in such a potent way that you can't help but accept this level of, like, energy that you give off. And I feel like you're accepting not only the fact that you know how to grow these seeds of opportunity in the best way possible, but that you add your own little bit of flair, your own little bit of magic, because you truly bring your manifestations into existence. And it's not just oh, I thought about this one manifestation one day. It's more of just like, you understand that when you try to manifest stuff, you have to go live your life. You got to go do other things, go do laundry, go do the dishes. And that level of acceptance is truly what brings your manifestations to the table, like a lot stronger. Because you're not just gonna order something online and then wait at the door for the package to show up when it said it wasn't gonna be there for 10 days. You're sitting there being like, okay, it says 10 days that it will be delivered. All right, what can I do to spend my time in those 10 days in order to not necessarily distract yourself, but like focus on other things. When you're focusing on other things, you're letting those manifestations work in the ethereal, in the metaphysical, and you're letting spirit and your spirit guides and the universe and source just work those manifestations for you. You're not holding them up. And I love the one explanation of manifestation is the fact that if you keep fucking with your manifestation, it's almost like you're putting in an order at a restaurant and you're constantly calling your server back to change your order, but they can't go and leave your table to go put the order in. So it's constantly going to be waiting. Like you're keeping your server waiting, so they can't go and actually put the order in at the kitchen and you can have your food. This is the same thing of manifestations. You just put your order in and then you wait until your food arrives, kind of a thing. So you are really that like embodiment of I'm putting my order in and okay, yeah, we'll see what happens. And this took a huge level of acceptance with yourself. You were really, really not only battling things in your mind, but I was getting this energy of like battling a lot of energies that play devil's advocate. Because I feel like you are seeing people not only follow this devil's advocate kind of way, but you're like almost you almost allowed yourself to try to understand their perspective, to just see what they were seeing. And that wasn't fulfilling to you. It wasn't something you wanted to commit to. When you commit to yourself and you see the work and the manifestations come from your own work and work ethic, it fulfills you tenfold, 100-fold. It fills you up like 1,000 times more than anything that following the devil's advocate or following the devil like energies could actually like. It's like they're like the devil's advocate, like they're ignoring things that you can't ignore. I was almost like gonna say that they can't ignore, but it's almost like you can't ignore the true level of manifesting, the true level of accepting, the true level of healing, and how healing isn't just oh yeah, I'm healed and that's it. You understand that this is a constant journey. This is always going to be a constant thing that ebbs and flows into your life. And I feel like you, as the magician here, as the empress coming out here, you are choosing to accept that it's been a long journey of acceptance, but you're ready. You are ready to accept yourself for who you are. Seven of Pentacles, healing. Ooh. This is you. This is you right here. Not necessarily healing yourself, but you're accepting that you're strong enough to heal others through not just action, but through levels of acceptance that people are genuinely ready to hear. Like, sometimes people aren't ready to hear something, but when people are ready and actively like accepting, okay, just give it to me like straight, give me the cold hard truth, just tell me bluntly like what I need to hear, whether it is in a spiritual tarot reading kind of way or you have a coworker that's like your best friend and you're hearing them go through a bunch of things that you went through and you made it out the other side, and you're sitting there hearing them talk about this and you're like, okay, let me tell it to you straight because I love you and I want you to actually feel fulfilled with your life. And I feel like you actively being able to heal yourself is showing people that, like I was saying earlier, you're able to show people that this can be done and that they're not alone in the fact that it is a hard transition when we are actively trying to work on ourselves and accept a lot of parts of ourselves and be fulfilled in committing to ourselves, committing to the responsibilities after all of this acceptance and committing to ourselves. Because not only are we just committing to ourselves and our own way of doing things and trusting that, yes, like this method actually works for us, you're showing people that that isn't easy. It takes a lot of, like, not just soul searching, but it takes a lot of lack of judgment when you look at yourself. You have to pull back the judgment. You have to pull back that label of good and bad and just look at what things are, what is. And I was talking about my father earlier, and while me and my dad may not agree upon anything, the one thing that was clear was that he loved his kids, and he continues and will always continue to love his kids. And whether it is a stepchild from another marriage or even my half brother, who is technically my mom's kid, he still, like, opens, like, the door for him. Like, we've invited our younger brother, my younger half brother, over to my dad's house to just hang out because me and my other brother wanted to hang out with him. And while my dad's a bit intimidating, because that's just his nature, he's a Scorpio, by the way, so, you know, if you know, you know. um he was still very loving and accepting and being like, yeah, like, he has nothing to do with the past that he experienced with our mom. Like, he is just a kid. Like, and he's still just a kid at this point in time. So, um, it's insanely accepting of how you can just enjoy life regardless of, like, not necessarily what is around you, but like still offer this level of love in a way that isn't going to be like, oh, like, there was never a time where my dad was talking bad about my half brother. There was never a time where he was like saying anything. Like, he may have, like, oh, well, I'm not really into that. Like, that's not my cup of tea. That's not my thing. But it's good to see that that person's happy, regardless of who they are and how they are connected to any sort of adversary or enemy of my dad. He was very accepting of, like, okay, yeah, like, you give respect and you get respect, kind of a thing. My dad's a very, like, he lives off of respect. He is like the embodiment of you give respect, you get respect, kind of a thing. And I feel like this is where you have treated yourself. Like, you have respected the fact that things may not have always looked the same for other people, but because they had their own experiences, because my dad had their own experiences, it didn't shy him away from shining that light of love onto his kids and onto his stepkids. He really accepted so much in his life that now he is living. Like, he is able to just do what he wants. While there's still these things that we have to work on, these little bit of struggles in this chaotic lifetime, he's still able to fully enjoy his life. And now more than ever, because all of his kids are grown up, now he has the freedom. Because listen, having kids definitely stunts the having a bit of freedom for yourself in your life. I will say, I've seen that a lot in my family with more than just my dad. But the fact that he is able to experience this level of freedom, it's something so beautiful, and that I am literally like, hey, just like, go be happy no matter what, is like my intention towards him. And like, I want him to live his life because he committed to a lot of responsibilities, because he knew back then that's just what you do as a parent. That's what you do as a parent. That's what he's always told me. And it's filled me with this level of acceptance of, damn, like, it was hard, but it helped me so much that I'm passing that same message and that same mentality down to my own kids when I have them in the future. Because I do want kids, but I don't have kids right now. I can wait. I'm only 26. I can wait. My body for sure can wait. But I love how this aspect of you doing this and passing this mentality onto your friends, family, coworkers, loved ones, you are giving them this sense of, like, you are this, like, literal shaman being able to heal them in ways that are, like, unheard of. You're able to heal these people around you in ways that are unheard of, because I feel like some people need someone to accept, yes, life is hard, but it doesn't always have to be. The work that we do can be hard work, but it can work up to us feeling this whole new level of fulfillment with our lives, that we feel like we can commit to ourselves and commit to the responsibility of loving ourselves, and loving our actual work towards happiness, to where the work that we're doing almost feels somewhat effortless. It feels like, yep, no, this is just what needs to be done. This is just what's going to be done. Ace of Pentacles. Now, if you made it far into this reading, Ooh, Ace of Swords here. I filmed a whole entire tarot read just before this, and it wasn't recording. I thought it was recording, but this was the card that came out twice. I saw this on the bottom of the deck, and then it actually came out and flipped out, so I'm glad it showed up again, because all of this is grounding you into a whole new chapter of your life, and I think you're seeing this new chapter for yourself clearer than ever, and I don't need to even tell you otherwise, because you understand the clear level of happiness that you're providing for yourself. You understand that not only through this clarity that you're finding for yourself, I see that arrow like shooting up almost as like you fully accepting something, to where you're sending this energy out into the world, into the universe. And if you believe in collective consciousness, like that affects the collective consciousness, that affects other people in more ways than just one. Even if it's just one thing you've said to somebody that really got them to be like, damn, like, yeah, healing's hard, but this person actually went through it and did it, and healed themselves in more ways than just one. And it may not be this perfect level of healing, but they're still able to find happiness, to find fulfillment, to find this level of acceptance and happiness, because we have to accept the work that needs to be done in order to regain this level of happiness within ourselves. Because a lot of the times it's like, you're never going to be happy if you're just sitting on your hands and waiting for it. It's not going to come to you. It's something that you also can work for, to not only work to bring into your life, but work things out of you, let things go, like have this level of acceptance to where you have room in your heart and in your mind to bring in happiness for you. And I'm hearing like it's not going to look like anyone else's. This level of healing is never going to look like anyone else's level of healing. And you are explaining that to a lot of people. I feel like for some of you, you're so grounded in your own beliefs that it's almost like it looks magical. It looks like you are this shaman who's created this mystical way of healing. But all you've done is have this level of acceptance. Like, this is a whole new level of acceptance that you're feeling within yourself. High Priestess. It feels a little mysterious and unknown, but it's also like this energy with the High Priestess is like, you know, things aren't always going to look like or seem like it's like nothing is as it seems. You know, you may see something on the surface level, but you always know that there's a deeper message into whatever you see on the surface. And whether you are discovering that deeper message, that inner knowledge, is kind of up for you to decide. There's that choice. And I feel like this level of acceptance is allowing you to accept that you're not going to really understand everything, but the fact that you still hold the key to your own inner knowledge, you can find the way to understanding what is beneath the surface. And I almost feel like, I feel like there are people trying to understand how you do something, like how you do all this, and they're doing it on such a surface level that they're like not even really willing to acknowledge that there are deeper roots at play here. And if you have anyone that's like, if you have anyone that's experiencing this level of like, hey, I don't know how you did this, I'm still trying, you're almost telling them like, you're still doing it, you're healing. The fact that you're trying is that big level of like you need to accept that there's actually like valid work. And I feel like this is the deep inner knowing that you kind of like strike in people's hearts. But if people aren't willing to like learn about what's beneath the surface, they're constantly going to be struggling with what's on the surface. And you don't need to help anyone that isn't going to accept that help. You don't need to accept anyone's offer of, hey, I need help, or request of help. You don't need to accept their request of help if they're not willing to actually accept what you have to say, regardless of how it makes them feel. Because you are somebody that's going to tell it to them bluntly. Queen of Swords, bluntly, is fucking right. The Queen of Swords is very cutthroat, very blunt in saying, we are moving in this direction because this is what needs to be done. And I feel like some people are like trying to do that, but they're still doing it on a surface level. And whether or not they're seeing the work that you have done, some people may see the work that you're doing and they're like, oh, well, they had help. Well, they had this, they had that. Or some people probably just think you're delusional, when in actuality, for other people, you are this Queen of Swords High Priestess combination. You are showing people, like, cutting through the surface, opening up this ground and saying, look at the roots. Those roots are infected. They need to go. And I don't care that you love this one plant that this root is from. We can grow another one. We need to get this out. We need to extract this infected root in order to plant a new one that isn't just going to be like healthier, it's going to be 10 times more abundant than it already is. Than this one plant maybe growing like a couple flowers. When you see that, oh, the roots are infected, that's why it's not growing as tall as this other one over here. You are extracting these infected roots here with this sword. Like, you're cutting through a lot of the things that it's like, you're even just like carefully cutting these roots out because you don't want to hurt any other roots that are actually healthy for the soil, healthy like plants that are growing. You see that sometimes we have to be very selective with what we're healing because we can't heal everything all at once. We can't heal our whole inner garden all at once. We have to accept that things aren't good underneath the surface and that we have to extract these things and plant a new thing and maybe even bring in some new soil for this ground for that we're churning up and digging up. And through this, I feel like some people think you're a lot more cutthroat than you actually like are meant to be, because it's almost like people can't see the level of acceptance that you see. And those are the people that aren't willing to really, they're wanting to request all the help but not actually do any of the work. Two of Swords. You see things so clearly. You see the truth as clear as day. And when you are getting to this level of acceptance, you're going to have people that are going to be like, oh, well, no, that's not it. Oh, well, collective had this help. Or collective just is delusional and they think this, they think that. But all that they're seeing is all of the surface level stuff. They aren't willing to accept that deeper truth to all of our natures. Oh, almost sneezed again. I'm still like coming off a cold. I'm feeling 10 times better, so it's just that little bit of like sneezy, sniffly feeling. So also, if you see the little bags under my eyes, that's probably from the sickie. Let me blow my nose again one more time. I feel like some of you are like sitting with yourself and you're saying like, I am accepting, I am abundant, I am accepting of all of these abundant like bits of knowledge. And some of these like people, not necessarily around you, but they're constantly like the judgment reverse. They're constantly placing judgment in a way that's like not accurate at all. Like, it's the people who still want to look at their own healing as that's good, that's bad, but you're seeing it as like, hey, no, this isn't just good and bad, like this is just what is. And it's not a bad thing to sit here and look at these things and feel a certain way, to feel like, damn, we could have done better. We could have been more of an advocate for ourselves. We could have done something differently. And that's just a level of acceptance that some people are ready to hear and others are not, because some people really feel like that they have to do all of these crazy things that like don't serve them in order to have this level of acceptance, but you're just doing this subconsciously sometimes. So that's where it feels like people are looking at you like you're fucking delusional, when it's like it's just a mirror reflected right back to them. Like they're the delusional ones thinking that they can only just keep watering this one infected plant and that it's just gonna grow. They think they can keep watering a plant that's actually dying when they need to uproot this whole thing, this whole way of being. And it's different parts of our soul. That's why I put it in the metaphor of a garden. We have different parts of ourselves that we plant and we ground into ourselves. You're grounding a lot of this healing within yourself. And you're releasing even the level of judgment of other people. Queen of Cups reversed. Yeah, I feel like you're really pouring your heart into yourself. That's why this Queen of Cups is reversed. But you're kind of accepting that, like, if these people aren't ready to heal, I don't think they'll ever be ready to heal. And that is something to where we see the duality of life. We see how there are people in our lives that show us what not to do. And I feel like this person and maybe this group of people, these people who just think that, oh, you had everything handed to you, um, they are really like falling out with their own emotions. They are dumping, and I want to say some people are probably even trauma dumping onto people in a way that's like, whoa, okay, sounds like you need some help here. And they're like, no, no, I don't need help. I'm fine. I've fixed myself. See, I've healed myself. And anyone that is hearing that is like, yeah, sure, you've healed yourself. Uh-huh, and you wouldn't be bawling your eyes out over this thing if you did actually heal yourself. Sometimes people can get emotional when they talk about their trauma. That's not what I'm talking about. It's almost like people going crazy over things that they should have let go, like, years ago. Things that they should have healed within themselves years ago, months ago, days ago. And it doesn't matter who exactly these energies are. It's almost just like, even if someone were to see you, like a stranger on the street were to see you now and see how happy you are, they'd feel almost like that person's so cringe or whatever. When it's like, they're cringe for not being happy with themselves. If they aren't happy with themselves, then they should just come out right and say it. But they aren't going to. They're going to find every little surface level thing to try and accept that they are happy with themselves when they have plants in their metaphorical garden that are literally dying because they aren't willing to actually extract these infected roots, extract these plants that aren't actually either good for the things that they want to grow. But it's almost like someone is like wanting to say, oh, my garden is full of flowers and stuff, and I can just fall into this field of flowers and feel all this abundant energy around me, when their whole entire field is full of cactuses. And when they fall into it, they're constantly getting poked and prodded at these things. And you can still grow a cactus in your garden, but I feel like if anyone's growing a cactus in your garden through this energy for the collective here, you're doing it as a method of protection. You're almost saying, these are the spiky things over here, and we're going to keep them over here. And we even have a wall around them so no one just accidentally falls into them. Like, you're providing almost this barrier around things that are a bit pokey or the poisonous plants. Because I feel like you, this collective here, has like an abundance of plants, metaphorical plants in their metaphorical garden. You have every plant imaginable because I feel like you've been willing to go to those like places. You've been willing to travel to different parts of your mind to really accept, yes, this is what's been poisoning my garden and this is what's been healing my garden. Or this is what happens when we have a plant like a cactus or a poisonous plant in the garden, but you're understanding how acceptant you can be of, okay, we want to understand these cactuses, these poisonous plants, we got to do it in a very careful manner. And you've been doing that. This is a huge metaphor for that, what I was saying earlier of you being very like careful about what you've been pursuing. The moon reversed. Ooh, okay. Three of Pentacles again, coming out twice. This one's reversed though. You've been doing things so subconsciously that I feel like some of you haven't been able to see it unless you have. Oh, excuse me. Unless you've been like truly seeing the signs and accepting the signs that you've been gaining in the future. Because a lot of what you've been doing has been super accepting of like, I have done the work, and even if I haven't noticed how subconscious it is, you're still like grateful that you were like able to do this in such a like unconscious, subconscious way. Um, it's in a way that's like you are not only finding levels of acceptance for yourself, but when people see this, like they try to go to these like dark depths, these levels that you go to in their mind, but what they don't realize is that you going to this depth in your mind was a slow process. Excuse me. You had a slow process of healing to where it was just you taking one step down this like downward stairs at a time. You took your time. You allowed yourself to take your time because you knew if you are just going to want to launch yourself down these stairs, it's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna feel literally like you're tumbling down these stairs, or that sort of energy of us spiraling out of control where you're just falling down this spiral staircase and you're not having anything that you can hold on to. You were careful about each and every step you took down this like depths of your mind. And I feel like this is where some people can't understand your healing process because they want to be at the level that you're at like instantly. And that's not the work that you've done. And the people who are ready to hear that, you are providing them with so much clarity, so much acceptance in the fact that yes, things are chaotic, but each and every step that we take, we must be grateful for. We must be proud of ourselves for. We must actually give ourselves the credit to, yeah, I took 3 steps down the stairs and I really understood a lot about myself, but I know that there's more stairs to go down into the depths of my mind, the depths of my soul. And saying, okay, you did those 3 steps. You're telling somebody this, like you took those 3 steps. Accept that you did a great thing. You actually took those steps yourself, is what you're telling somebody. And this is through a way of like the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Like it's not going to look like anyone else's healing. And I feel like that's where some people are like trying to do it in the way that you did it. But the whole point of this healing is that it's supposed to be in our own way. Like some people may not be as skilled as uprooting these things as you are, but you're willing to be like, okay, this is how I did it. Let's see how we can do it for you. Let's see what your tools that you have. Let's see where your sword lies in your heart that you can really cut through the ground, cut through the surface, and really get into the depths of your soul. And you have a lot of people who are really willing to accept this, and a lot of people who just aren't. And I feel like if anyone isn't willing to accept this, they're just almost trying to like demonize this work that you do and say, oh, it's not true, it's not actually like true and faithful. But that's where this like Queen of Cups energy is coming in of like, no, I've healed. And it's like someone's looking at them like, if you've healed, you wouldn't be talking about this like you are right now. You wouldn't be as wrapped up in this energy as you are right now. And that's where it comes back to like, but no, my garden's filled with like roses and all these amazing things, all these amazing plants. And I'm even hearing like roses specifically because roses have thorns, and they're seeing like roses as like just the rose petals and not the thorns that are on the actual rose bush. Like those are the deep level of, like, I want to say the deep level of, like, illusion that someone's playing themselves on, because I feel like they want to just have a quick satisfaction, quick gratification on something. They want to be healed right this second, right now. And you're sitting here like, that's not how this works. That is 100% not how this works. So, what is the ending advice that we can give for the collective here? Ooh! Oh, I love this. We have the temple and the sword kind of reversed, but I feel like, oh, the way that this temple card has that triangle facing down, usually when a triangle like this is facing down, that is like our intuition, and like it's symbolizing the element of water, so it's a lot of internal energy, our emotions. All of this work that you've been doing has even made you look a bit lighter in life. I'm hearing some of you look kind of prettier nowadays just because you've been able to heal yourself and be happy. This energy of glowing, but it didn't happen for no reason. You looked at your temple and said, what needs to be healed? What truly in our temple, in our mind, body, and soul needs to be healed? Because it's not just the temple of your body, it's the temple of your soul. And the sword here is cutting through anything that does not serve you. And I feel like I want to pull out the book for the sword card, because I always feel like there's something that needs to be read from the book that's very resonating to people. Because also how this book words things, the archetypes deck, Kim Kranz, you word things so just like chef's kiss perfectly. So let's get to this sword card here. There we go. The sword, the knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. That's the energy right there. You have a sword in your hand that is not going to hesitate to point towards the surface level of things and say, we need to cut through that. We need to cut through that one reality of another. What is on the surface versus what is underneath, because they are connected. These, and the fact that this part up here is like what is upright is the darker part here, I want to say, of the sword. The fact that that is like on top and this is like kind of reversed is showing that you are so accepting of the deeper parts of your soul. I think that's the only part that it needed to be read right here. You are really choosing to decide acceptance in the self on all parts, on all different levels. And it comes from separating those things of, okay, yeah, the surface level and what's underneath the surface are connected, but when we truly separate these things, we can see how something is needing to be extracted. Like, I keep getting that word. I don't know what it is, but you're extracting a lot of, like, old ways, old things. And you have been for a while, to where you are allowing this level of acceptance through other people, and for other people to see this level of acceptance is really what I wanted to say. And maybe there's a little bit more from that sword card. Let me just see really quick. I want to skim through. This moment defines our separation from... Oh, I see. Because it represents that when we are literally born, the cord that we are connected to our mother is cut. So this moment defines our separation from the mother and begins our journey of becoming ourself. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. You are literally explaining that to other people. You are explaining how when you cut these things out of your life, when you actually extract these things that don't serve you and plant something new in your garden that does serve you and is even 10 times more abundant than the plant that you had before, this is an active growth that shapes not only our destiny but our actual choices moving forward. You are able to actually like accept the choices that are more of responsibility than just, oh, I want to do this, and oh, I have to do this in order to get what I want. But it's more of, okay, if I'm responsible with this thing, if you're very clear on like pointing your sword in a direction and cutting things out, it's like, okay, if I really want to move forward in this direction, this is what I need to do. This is what is a responsibility of what is needing to be done out of necessity. Like I was saying before with my dad, this is just what you do. And it's something so clear and so freeing that I keep looking at this one card that one of the crystal shops that I go to, the witchy shop that I go to, every time that you make a purchase there, they will have a certain deck of cards that you can pull from, and you keep the card, which I absolutely love that they do that. It's so cool. It's so amazing. Like they just lay out the cards and like fan them out, and you're able to just pick whatever you want. You can pick a card, you may not pick a card, it's up to you. But I keep looking at this card specifically because I love keeping the cards and I just kind of keep them up on my little table here in my desk. This card says, it is an affirmation. It says, I let go of fear and embrace the freedom that comes with true acceptance. I feel like that is exactly what you're going through. I want to say that one more time. I let go of fear and embrace the freedom that comes with true acceptance. Because you understand that this work of letting go of fear and embracing the true acceptance, that work is so fulfilling to you. And I think that's the big key that you're finding here is the fulfilling work in letting go of fear. That takes a lot of fucking effort. It takes a lot of effort, and not only emotional but mental effort, to go to those places and accept ourselves. Oh! Alright, this is the last card I'm going to read from the deck because I don't get this too often, so I am kind of a little bit forgetting of it, but it's the Castle. I'm almost seeing that almost like the Temple card, but the Castle is like something that we build. So I'm curious of how that's going to come up here. Here we go. The Castle. The palace, the penthouse, the fortress. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home, or position that project the image of achievement. While the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind, at times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spell of materialism, and we fall asleep into our deepest dreams. The castle can be motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. Notice how castles are designed to keep things out. They defend, they separate. It is likely there is a connection and community beyond its walls that will revitalize you. I'm hearing some of you just get outside. Go find the most foresty forest near you and just take a walk and almost see this forest as like the camping ground of nature, and seeing all the different, like hearing all the different birds, all the different sounds of nature that you hear in this forest. If you can, try your best to. If you do not have a forest near you, I want you to go look up on YouTube of someone like hiking through like forests and woods. If you can't get outside or don't have the means to, you can totally do this online. You can do this through YouTube. There are tons of people who hike through, like, I'm hearing, look up a video of someone hiking through the redwood forests in California, because those huge great redwood trees are so beautiful to just like just embrace the fact that they exist, right? And that collective consciousness is still always with us. And if you're feeling that you need to find that like temple and that castle within your soul, we haven't been talking about a castle this whole time. We've been talking about a garden, something that you can run free in. Ooh, if this card appears with the king, queen, or the maiden, Know that you've entered into long-standing family dynamics that include property and power. And I feel like that's this, in this case, you are understanding not only family dynamics, but it's like the family with yourself, the dynamic that you have with yourself here. And I think that's all you needed to hear. We'll see what's on the bottom of the deck. You are the creator of your own life, your own destiny, and it's through all of this work. The fact that the creator card is out there, let's do one little thing. Oh, okay. The creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype alienates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. Because one thing about the creator here is, I think the next card after is the destroyer, so it goes the creator and the destroyer. Right here, in the destroyer card, I always think this whenever I see the destroyer or the creator. Consider Picasso's statement, every act of creation is first of all an act of destruction. That is the key to the method of your madness. And I feel like being able to go outside and go in nature and appreciate whatever nature you can, even if it's just the plants inside your home, connect with them. See how they don't just stop growing because someone told a tree to stop growing. That is just going to continue to grow till its fullest maturity. Plants have a maturity part where, yes, they essentially stop growing, but they don't stop living. They don't stop, being. They don't stop existing. They just are at a level of maturity that you can see when it comes to sort of certain plants coming to, full ripeness and fruit that you can bear. And do not for 1 second discredit any work that you've been doing from this moment on. You've been seeing something in such a light that I feel like you've been able to not see this so clearly for a long time, but now it's super clear and abundant to you. And I want to get one last card here from this oracle deck, because this one's just short and sweet. So let's get one last little confirmation, validation from what does the collective need to hear. What is this last thing? We're gonna get one card, see if we can get one card. Sometimes it's multiple, we'll see. Actually, let me shuffle here really quick. One last card to clear up all of this confusion. You have unlimited possibilities. Number 19. 1 + 9 = 10. And I feel like, and the death card, which is another level of, it's another meaning for acceptance, the same way that the death card means in tarot. You have unlimited possibilities to how you heal not only yourself, but how you heal the world. And the fact that you see that there isn't this rigid castle that is bound by these ways of being, you see the open forest, the open garden that is almost limitless in its possibilities to grow upon. That is the key to your magic. So thank you for letting me read your cards. That is all I have for you. If anybody wants a personal or private reading, check my website down below. I'm also offering some beginner tarot lessons if you want to actually get into the depth of reading these cards for yourself, because I know it's a lot. It's a lot. So thank you, and I hope all of that resonated. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!